got some bad impacts on our life. Now, why would I say bad impacts? We are struggling, we are suffering. Why? Because somebody is so strongly holding on to his ideas that you cannot escape his violence or his anger towards you. All these violence I talk of is not happening just like the rain falling or a natural cause. It is intended acts of people, against each other. I have mine, you have yours, that person have his. When is it going to end? It was going to end when we realize the roots of it, where it came from. So it boils down to the roots of it, where it has come from. My experience, or my death threat experience, came through religion, and probably culture as well. Because somebody believes something and he thinks that what he believes is right. And if he thinks that what he believes is right, he's sort of had to put it to test or had to put it to try. And he wouldn't care whether it's going to be a threat to somebody or ruin somebody's life. At the end of the day, all that matters to others is that they have been able to achieve whatever they want to achieve. They have the benefit, self-preservation, selfish consciousness, in some ways being more in a state caring about yourself and making sure that you have achieved that aim that you want to achieve. So it's something that you and I have to really consider carefully and think it through, thinking things through and realizing that we do owe it to ourselves to go into the roots of the problem and seeing through what is right for us to do, what is best for us to do. How can we live life and without resentment? And I wouldn't resent anybody if there wasn't any culture or religion. In fact, if we had only one culture and we had one religion, there would have been very much more harmoniosity among us. There would have been more harmony in our lives, without too much doubts and worrying, because it will be more brotherly and sisterly than the divisions that we have that sort of crashes down. And I believe you will understand from what I have said here. The intentions of my video are very honorable and very, very, in all humility, very humane, and in every way it is also necessary, and I see it as a very valuable asset to my life and your life. You shouldn't live life and be thinking that no, everything is okay, nothing bad will ever happen to me. In fact, the day you gave that thought to yourself, that very day you will see the surprises that might easily happen to you, and you'll be shocked to know that the incident that you never thought would happen has happened. It is something that you and I had to really look through and never underestimate our world that we live in and its potential abilities, whether being damages or being something profiting. I have met a few people who will consider religion not to be a problem, but I would say that it is a problem. If you go to, I'll relate it to, if you go to, let's say, you pick up the culture of Islam and the culture of Christianity. What is harmonious? Even among the Christians, there is nothing harmonious. Neither is it harmonious in the Islamic world. Now, am I talking about people here? Yes, I'm talking about people. But I'm not against the people. Neither am I having a direct confrontation of any person, because that might be that I'm striking on human beings, and that would be the bad thing to even do. Human beings we are perfect, and we are in every uniqueness of which we are. But culture and religion is not part of us. That's a whole different attachment that we have in our life, something that is not necessarily part of us. We took it in. We were not born with culture. You were not born with religion. Nobody was born with religion pasted on his face. Nobody was born with culture pasted on his face. We developed it. We grew to accept it. It's like the language you speak. If I was to say that my language speaking is bad, in the same way, I'm trying to say that religion and culture is bad. Just as I can say the language is bad, I can say culture is bad or religion is bad. Why can't we do away with it? We can do away with it. In fact, we only have to do away with it when we have a clear, revealing evidence to show that it is not a valuable asset in our life, that we cannot fully depend on religion, on culture to sort of emulate anything for any generation. It will continually keep on drowning us and giving us the headache that we are having. I mean, it is so clear that religion and culture has influenced us into so many terrible things. You know, today you go in the Arab states, they are so much getting rid of their leaders, forgetting that they hailed those leaders and put them there. You know, those leaders was once very admired, but as we say, it does corrupt. These religious leaders, these Arab leaders, were also religiously in tune. Somehow, they were doing the right thing. They were there to save other people, and they have ended up, repeating probably the same thing or being hated by the same people who they came to embrace, or they came to help, or they came to help from other tyrants or other dictators. Whichever way it is, they are being hated now. For whatever reasons, they are being hated. They are being taken out of office. Others are having foreign countries to aid them, to help them to be able to take their leaders out. I mean, seriously, in the year 2011, you can imagine what is going on in the Arab lands, what is going on now. They have forgotten that maybe Allah put those leaders there. Because the same Allah can order you to kill Arabians or any other person that he so feel that has wronged him. And so what is this killing that people were doing that you are so upset about was instead Allah gave room for that killing? I'm not saying that is the case, but it can be considered because the book reveals certain things. And these people, if they are being caught and they are killed, they do it, they are clearly religious. They clearly signify religion. They sort of rule and consider their country as Islamic countries. In fact, they did not rule and say that their country was not Islamic. They sort of allow the rules and regulations in the Quran, to sort of manifest in the country or somehow be part of the rule of law that they depend on. So these people were doing things within the confines of what the Quran inspired in the same manner. And whatever they were trashing or killing or harming or whatever it is, was in their sense ruling principles to secure a very good and safe land for themselves and for the country members. It's not the best thing to say, but looking at what I'm saying here, I'm relating it to the fact that your culture, your religion, it's all in there. If there wasn't anything of that guidance coming from religion or culture, the common sense the person has will be dominating. And what I say common sense, in every way, you can go to any country that depends on a common sense of approach. And the person will be ready to accept his wrong and rights. Because if the leader was appointed into office, not based on religious grounds or spending his life on religious guidance which will tell you to do or not to do, that person clearly accepts the responsibility not to sort of leave his responsibilities in the hands of a God. No, because whatever decisions has come, men has decided, and men take that responsibility. Men will be ready to sort of see the if not amending, and they held on to it, they are ready to take up that responsibility, and they can be blamed or taken out of office by the hand of the other people. But if they were installed in a sense that a divine being did that, and the divine being has never spoken or isn't ready to speak, then who are you going to point finger at?